What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Motoman Dan, and today I wanted to start with the deep dive into the items of Orcs Must Die 3. So just kind of give you a brief overview how to use them and all that stuff, and we're going to look at ways to use them in kill boxes and such. All right, the acid Geyser or Geyser or Goozer, whatever you want to call it. It is a floor trap. It's a 2x2 floor trap, and it level upgrades or reduce cooldown. Unique upgrades increase duration or increase melting duration. The melt is the status effect from acid. It does acid damage, which the melt causes enemies to take 50% bonus physical damage while the melt debuff is applied. It sprays AoE acid fountain, damaging enemies and applying acid effects. We're going to take a look into what that looks like later on. We're just going to set up a little bit of a scenario and have enemies take acid damage. It has to do 5,000 damage in order to upgrade it, and there you go. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. So here I have the game files pulled up. Yes, I have two of them. Oh, okay. So first things first, let's take a look at this. This is the acid Geyser here. In the game files, we have tick interval of 0.25, which is 4 times a second. Is when it basically triggers. Trigger delay is 0.5, which is a little bit on the high end for traps. Meaning as an enemy steps into its activation range, it waits 0.5 seconds to activate. The trigger duration is 1 second. That's the length of the trap being active, which can increase. And then you have reset delay and cooldown. Reset delay and cooldown are kind of together, so it's really only 15 seconds. Your coin value is 700, cost 700 to place, and you unlock it by paying 7 skulls. Okay, and then here's all the upgrades and stuff. We're gonna take a look at that. Okay, here are the attributes here. So primary damage is 15, and there's a secondary status effect of 0.1 seconds. So we're gonna take a look at that. The effective radius is 300, which is 2 grid squares. 150 is 1 grid square. And a grid square is the size of the archer's footprint, or the decoy's footprint, or the height of a butterfly, the window of a butterfly, or the ballista or snow cannon, that kind of thing. So that's what 1 grid square is. All right, so there's your effective radius, which in our testing, you might see that enemies farther out than that take damage. So the way that these values work is some values override others, and some values modify others, and it's just kind of it's a little bit over the place depending on which trap, but essentially that's what you're gonna find. Okay, let's look at the upgrade protos. So the acid Geyser upgrade level 2 is costs 4 skulls, reduce cooldown, and it reduces it by 1 second. So it takes that 15 to 14. Then we have another one that takes it down to 13, and another one takes it down to 12. Okay, and I think I have that all in the damage 50. Yeah, okay. So yeah, they haven't changed it yet. It's still correct as of what it was in the wiki page. All right. Then we have the unique upgrades, which we have increased duration, cost 8 skulls, and it increases the duration by 1, and that's the traps active. So it doubles the traps active phase by taking it from 1 second to 2 seconds. And this is a modify. Okay, good. Because sometimes you'll have override, and an override will just take the value and replace the value that was there. But this is a modify, meaning it increases or decreases it. So yeah, adds 1. And then we have this one, the unique 2, which the primary status effect duration gets upgraded to +7. Oh, it's an override. I'm sorry. Yeah, never mind. This is a modified trap trigger duration here. This is an override ability float. Okay, so it takes it up to a 7. By default, I'm pretty sure it is. Let's see here. I think it's 3 seconds. I think everything is 3 seconds. Let me go into melting here. Oh, it's 5 seconds. Okay, so by default, melting is 5 seconds. So it takes it up to 7 seconds, making it plus 2 seconds of the melt duration. I didn't actually know that. Interesting stuff. I wonder if they changed that recently. So I could have sworn it was 3. I could have sworn all these were 3. With a few exceptions. So the value is 1.5 times for the physical damage. That's where you see that in the game files. And then let's swing back over to what I had pulled up. So we have this secondary ability for the acid geyser, and this is a slow ability, and they load up the tar walk animation. And this one does, this default duration is 0.1 seconds. We saw that earlier here. The secondary status effect duration 0.1 seconds. So this is a 0.1 second, and it's a modified value of 0.8, meaning they're 20% slower. I don't know why they did that, other than maybe to allow it to hit more enemies, because we're gonna take a look at how it actually affects enemies, and if it affects all of them, if they're on top of it, if it's projectile based, all that stuff. And so I think this is just there to kind of help it be better. Similar to the ice dart spitter, or just the dart spitter that has a damage value while it's active, whether anything gets hit by it or not. It's a bad luck mitigation, which it really doesn't do a lot, but I mean, it's there, you know, it's a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and jump into a map and take a look at the acid geyser in all its glory. And here we are on my favorite map to test stuff. The reason we can test a lot of stuff here, just see kind of an activation or how stuff is used, is because this map is so big. You have so much starting money, starting cash. You know, it really is. I guess I could have gone sandbox mod with it, but listen, this is on Riffler as well, so they're a little stronger. But yeah, it's such a good map to do it. And you know, we're really just here to see the acid geyser. And it's all of its glory. So we got a lot of physical damage, right? So we've got bleed, and we've got the swinging mace. Now us being here, we have a little bit of a hitbox while we're sleeping, so you can just kind of see the spray there, kind of hitting some of those enemies. And as they kind of walk over, of course, like I said, they get the slow tar animation whenever it's active, and again, we have a bit of a hitbox here, so they're getting a little clumped up on us as well as each other. Not a lot of hard crowd control here. They are getting knocked around a little bit by the swinging mace, which is pretty cool stuff to see. Yeah. So okay, I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm gonna try and do my best to post editing to show you guys, but something happened there. It's kind of weird, and basically the enemies walked over the acid without actually taking acid damage, or without taking any damage. You saw the debuff like show up and disappear on them. It's kind of crazy, like that right there. See, the debuff's already gone, you know, or at least visually. I don't know if it is you know, numerically or not, but visually it just disappeared. It's a little bit strange. So, you know, some other cool things about the acid geyser is because it does acid damage and it's a melt. I see it like popped up green and then went away, but nothing even triggered. I don't know, man. But since it does bonus physical damage, or enemies take bonus physical damage, I should say. It stacks with ice, and it stacks with the petrification as well, which increases bonus damage from physical. So acid's 50%, and then you have the ice, which is 30%, and then the petrification 30%. So you stack it all up, and what it does is it actually goes the smallest value to the biggest value. So you have like 10 damage, you plus 30%, and you got 13, then plus 30%, and you got like 16.5 or whatever it comes out to, and then you do another 50% on top of that, and then now you got like 22, right? So the math may not be correct there. I'm not the best at math, but it's basically what happens with the whole thing. So it all adds up, you know. But this is very physical damage, physical heavy build here with the saw blade launcher with bleed. Bleed is physical damage as well as explosion. They're both physical. We got the grinders, and we got the swinging mace. You know, lots and lots of physical damage here. So that's pretty cool. All right, but obviously it's not enough to take care of trolls. If we had ice and if we had lasers and all that stuff, I think we'd have maybe a bit better of a shot here against them, but that's okay. All right, we need to do this, and we need another row. You know, why not? Why not? Oh, I also brought pounders. I totally forgot about that. You know what? We're gonna throw a pounder up here in the front. Boom. Nice. Okay. They're all kind of swinging together, huh? Maces that are together, swinging together. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if they were like RNG'd onto as that ogre, see his animation or his you know, whatever it is, and then it pops up again. So I'm not sure what's happening. I'm thinking, now I'm kind of thinking either it's the tar walk that's kind of getting in the way, or it's maybe from the grinder or from the tar. But I'm also thinking that maybe it's the bleed. You know, maybe the bleed animation, because it has like red, you know, animated blood, I guess, spewing out, and but that could be it. That could be it. Right? I'm thinking so. I'm thinking so. Now, I didn't bring physical damage ballistas. I did bring arcane damage ballistas because, you know, acid is an element. So arcane will buff the damage that acid deals by 15%. So it's pretty good to use there as well. All right, let's get one more of these. Oh. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening with the animation now. Now that I look at it here, is yeah, that. All right, I'm gonna fast forward and skip here into a later wave. We're gonna set something up in the front as well to take a look at this as soon as we can get this little shindig automated. TNT archers, gotta watch out for those guys, of course, as always. A couple of ballistas here. And I will be back in 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, welcome back to wave 5 of 5. We need to take out Gorbash. He's going to be a bit of a problem to our little setup. That's okay though, we'll take him out. I probably should have swapped something out with a... with like a crossbow or something, but that's alright. Just stack everybody up here. We're going to kind of do that anyways, right? Alright, just need to kind of move. There we go. Be dead soon. He is going towards the right-hand side, so that gives us a little bit more time to take care of him. Looks like all these guys from the right are going up towards that spawn, and then coming back down. Really interesting pathing for whatever reason. And Gorbash is having a hard time too. Hey, okay. Well, maybe we figure something out here. Do not die if we can. Stop it, Gorbash. Stop it. Stop it. No. That's okay. Check this out. Okay, you ready? All right. Now let's just take a quick look at it, a quick gander at how it's affecting everybody. So it sprays as the enemies come in. The tar walk does interrupt the look, and you can see as they leave, the tar walk actually trails off, and then they get reapplied for the acid. So as we know, it does stack, and it looks like those couple of those last kobolds there, they actually kind of made it through. So we're gonna place one of these here. We're gonna take another look at it again. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of hitting a lot of stuff, and then as it trails off, yeah, okay. So they must have either made it better, or I just didn't know what it was doing in the first place. I'm gonna go ahead and just pop one of these in there, kind of freeze them up, you know, and then see that spray out, and there you go. I'd like to take a look at this Earthlord hit points and see if it's just constantly going down. Yeah, so for whatever reason, the animation lasts a little bit longer. It looks like it lasts a little bit longer than it actually does damage. And you know what? Let's see. So he's taking damage out here. He's not. Okay. I want to get a guy a little bit farther in like that. That guy right there. That's who I want. Okay, and we got a freeze. Okay, so he takes damage. Earthlord does not take damage. So, yeah, it seems to go out about 1 square past the trap itself. So the trap is a 2x2, you know, 300 units. By 300 units. It actually goes out by 1 square from where that's at. It appears to be anyways. But yeah, it seems to actually be working better than it used to, where pretty much all those runners got affected by it, which is good. Because what it did before is it kind of like missed almost. But it looks like it's a little bit more static again. I could have just been I could have just been remembering it. But that's good against shielded units. That's actually a pretty good thing to put up there. Pretty decent for sappers too. And now that I see this, it's actually not bad for endless either. Because it looked like it was only hitting with projectiles, and so it would miss sometimes and not hit everything because an enemy would get in front of another enemy. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Well, maybe, I don't know. That ogre didn't take any damage, huh? So, okay, we got a big chunk of boys here. Let's see what happens. So this ogre took damage. That ogre, I think, took damage. It's a little hard to tell. All right. Well, we got some more freeze going. So let's see if this Earth Elemental... Okay, yeah, he's taking damage. So it's not blocked either. Okay, so it's firing out in all cylinders, and enemies aren't blocking the damage at all. So it's affecting everybody. That's kind of good. I'm impressed. Particularly impressed, man. That's actually not too bad. Anyways, guys, that's good to know. And like I said, this map is a beautiful map to test stuff on. And you know, let's take a look at the kill box here. Just one more time. Lots of physical damage. Like I said, bleed is physical and it buffs it. And then a little bit of arcane buffs the acid damage as well, which, you know, is what it is. It kills kobolds on Riftlord. So yeah, you know, maybe using it isn't you know, I think the acid geyser is still a little bit, or not the acid geyser, the acid cannon. It's a little bit better applying acid in a large group of people, or large like area of effect. However, as far as like a, you know, it being able to affect all of the enemies on top of it, you know, that's not too bad. Flip enemies into it, it triggers, it hits them all, applies the acid debuff for 5 seconds. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Anyways, guys, I hope you learned something, or I hope this helps you with ideas for your own kill box, your physical damage kill box. And yeah, that being said, as always, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Twitch, and I will see you on the flip side. Deuces.